Hello, I'm Derek from Inflatable SUP Authority, and today we'll be reviewing the ISLE Pioneer Pro behind me here. We'll go through the pros, cons, as well as what I liked, what I felt when I was on the board, and who I think it's for. Stay tuned. Who is the ISLE Pioneer Pro for? The ISLE Pioneer Pro 10.6 is for paddlers who are new, people who want a kayak SUP hybrid, which I'll show you in a sec, as well as people who just want a recreational board to paddle around calm waters while still wanting a very stiff, high performance board. Now when I say high performance, I'm not talking about speed, I'm talking more about rigidity in the sense of recreational paddling. We'll just quickly go over the specs of the ISLE Pioneer Pro. So this specific model is 10'6" length, 36 inches wide, which is actually a very wide board, 6 inches thick, and it is 23 pounds and has a 300-pound maximum capacity. The ISLE Pioneer 10.6 is one of the most stable boards and rigid boards I've actually paddled. And this is thanks to its ISLE Infinity fiber construction. It's continuous fiber thermoplastic, which is actually being adopted by NASA. So it's a very strong material that gives extra support to this board, which allows it to be so stiff. It also has very specialized heat welded seams, which is basically layers of PVC pressed together through heat, and they add an extra little bonding layer right on the rails, just so that you have that extra support and protection. And now we're just going to do the nose to tail of the board. So as you can see, this board has a full deck pad. I actually think it's a very good board for SUP yogis. It should be on more SUP yogi list for sure. You can see over here, we have bungees. Now these are actually removable, so you can just take this guy off or put it back in just like so. I do like this bungee setup as it gives you a whole bunch of options thanks to the ISLE Link system, which spans throughout most of the board. So you get 5 of those straps, which is really good. You could also crisscross them like this, any way you want really, which I do like that ISLE's giving you a lot of possibilities here with these straps. So let's go back to the middle here. So here's a handle. This part is nylon. The bottom part is neoprene, which I appreciate. I always like neoprene handles. You can see over here as well, there is the paddle holders, which is another feature I appreciate on the board, and the fact that it's on the side of the board is a big plus. I'll also show you quickly the heat welded seams here. You can see this right here, that's the heat welded part. As you get to the back of the board, there's the inflation point, and then the handle, the back, which is also made of neoprene at the bottom. And boom, now we're in kayak setup. You can see we now have kayak paddle. This can be adjusted into a SUP paddle. You have the footrest. So the ISLE Link system allows you to attach these to anywhere on the board where there's those little loops. And finally, there's the seat. Both the footrest and the seat are inflatable. I usually like to inflate them to about maybe 2-3 psi. If you want it to be a little bit more cushier, you can maybe drop it down to 1. You can see there's the seat right there. So pocket in the back as well. Overall, I do like the kayak formation. It's not the absolute most comfy kayak formation that I've done, but it does the job, and I liked it. I do appreciate the inflatable seat. That uplifted seat definitely takes the strain off of your hips and back, especially if you're like me and you have some back issues. So I wouldn't say this kayak setup is the best. I did like the inflatable chair that Botte did a little bit more, but this was still very good. So what do you get with the ISLE Pioneer Pro? Well, quite a bit apparently. So we'll just go through some of the items here, and we'll go into more detail for the notable ones. So you can see this is the kayak seat. Just have the bottom part there. There's the footrest. And these are the straps that actually attach the kayak, the inflatable kayak seat part to the board. You can see this is a 4-piece paddle. So it can be a SUP paddle or a kayak paddle. It's actually one of the better kayak hybrid paddles that I've tested. And finally, you'll see the little mesh bag. There's a leash, fin. The mesh bag is for the paddle, just to keep everything together, which is actually a nice little trick there. And finally, the bag. And also there is the dry bag as well, which is another cool little thing that I do appreciate ISLE includes. With a lot of paddleboard accessories, I don't really get a dry bag, so I had to purchase one myself. So it's actually very handy that they did include it, and it is something that if you paddle regularly, you will need on the water. This is the bag that comes with the ISLE Pioneer Pro. So you can see it's a wheeler bag. So you can basically just drag it along the gravel, sand, etc. Makes it very handy because you do have a lot of stuff in this package, so it can be a bit heavy to carry. So it is nice that they included these wheels. There's also multiple straps that kind of keep the package intact. You can see as well, there's a grab handle right here. At the top as well, right over here. And at the bottom, there's a little handle. So that is very nice, especially when you're taking the bag out of the trunk. Next, we'll look at the padding, and I like the padding of this. The bag is actually made a tiny bit different compared to other SUP bags. Like the material here, it's a little bit different. It's usually a lot of other SUP bags, it's sort of mesh like this, but it's a little bit of a different padding. I'm not sure what it is, but it's nice. Good amount of padding, as you can see right on the back here. There's also the waist strap and the chest strap to keep it secure on you should you want to carry it like a backpack. There's also a handle right here that you can carry from the back too. This is the paddle that comes with the package. So you can see it has the paddleboard handle as well as the extra kayak blade. Now if you put it in paddleboard formation, it's for people from 4'10" to 6'2". So I'd say like 85% of the heights there are. And then another interesting feature is the fact that the paddle has different adjusting features on it. So you can set this paddle in kayak formation to how you like it, and it's on both paddles. So I'll show you right here. So that also allows you to adjust the paddle when you're in kayak formation, which is something that I don't see with a lot of other kayak hybrid packages. So I like it. It's a good little feature that ISLE has done. The paddle itself is made of carbon fiberglass. The shaft is, that is. And the blade is made of nylon. Now both blades are 85 square inches. Also just wanted to show you the back of the board here. So the most prominent feature is this strip where the Pioneer Pro ISLE writing is. Now this is actually the Infinity Fiber. This is a strip of the Infinity Fiber right here. You touch it, you can tell it is much different from the PVC. Even the feel when you tap it feels a little bit different. Definitely feels like a very rigid structure. And so it's right here as well as on the sides. I do like that they show it as well, just to kind of show that it's like, here it is. It's always nice to kind of see that kind of stuff. But anyway, we're gonna get to the fin box here. Now the fin box is split, which I do appreciate because it makes folding a heck of a lot easier when you get towards the end. That is something I do very much appreciate. The fin box is always the hardest thing to kind of fold. But I'll show you just how to install this fin. This is a click-in fin system, so which means just slide in and click. So I'll show you what it looks like. Slide her in. So you see there's that green little nub right there. All you have to do is adjust where you want it, and then you just push it, just like that. And you see your fin is installed. To take it out, all you gotta do is grab the fin, yank it like that, the metal nub, take it out, There you go. This fin is also a touring fin. I do like these touring style fins that iSUPs are using more and more of now. It feels like more of a proper fin. It does add a little bit of extra tracking to the board. Now it's time for me to list the pros and cons of the ISLE Pioneer Pro. The pros are, and there's honestly quite a bit of them. I've spent like a minute or two rehearsing them. The pros are, the board is supremely rigid. I mean, when I stood on this board, it felt like you're just on an inflatable dock. And it's 34 inches wide, by the way. I made a mistake saying 36 inches earlier. But it felt very rigid. The maneuverability of this board is also very good. I managed to do 3 reverse sweep strokes on this board, which is a very good rating. It may be one of the best, actually. I'll have to look at all my compiled ratings, but I'll put it on here. I also like the ISLE link system. You can see it really makes the board very adjustable to your own height in terms of where you want to put the deck bungees, as well as where you want to put the kayak seat, etc. It makes it very adjustable. I mean, it's great. Another big pro is just all these accessories that come with the board. Like, in terms of value, it's a very good value package, and they're not just chintzy accessories, they're actually very well made. I did appreciate the kayak seat. I thought it was one of the better ones. I also appreciate the fact they have a dry bag. In my opinion, the kayak conversion paddle is one of the best, just due to the adjustability, even when in kayak formation. Really appreciated that. The bag is nice and big as well, so you can fit a whole bunch, the whole package right in here. It might take you a roll or two, but it's definitely a very well-made bag. Heavy duty as well. Has the roller wheels, which is a big plus. Now, things I thought the ISLE Pioneer Pro could have done better. I personally think that there's not a lot really to put in this category, but I will say the tracking performance wasn't necessarily as impressive, and the board is a bit slower in the water. Like, I tested this a little bit whenever high tide behind me here was coming in, and so I was going against the tide, and I made it, but like wasn't making as much ground, sort of liked. But at the same time, it's down to the shape of the board, and the shape of the board is more for stability. It's not, you're not going to win any SUP races for this or anything like that. It's mostly a beginner / kayak hybrid focus board. So if you look at it from that perspective, there's not really a lot I can say the board can improve on. The ISLE Pioneer Pro comes with a 5-year warranty. Now, I talked to the product designer, Jimmy, and he is saying that there have been no warranty replacement yet with these boards. Like, these boards have been almost faultless, which is a really good thing to hear from product designer and ISLE itself. It's good to get those insights. So this is one of the better made boards, if not the best made board in this iSUP industry. It also comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee, but with that, you do have to pay for return shipping, and you do have to pay a 20% restocking fee. Now, the warranty doesn't cover external damage, so for example, if I was to scrape this board on one of these clams up here, definitely the warranty will not cover that whatsoever. Misuse, overinflation, all that kind of good stuff, warranty doesn't cover. It's just specifically the defects of the material in the board. Is the ISLE Pioneer Pro a good buy? Yeah, I believe it's a very good buy. It's a great buy for people who are recreational paddlers, who want a kayak hybrid paddleboard, but also want a very well-made rigid board that will last them a long time. Also, a very well thought out package with both the onboard accessories like the ISLE link system, as well as the accessories that come with the board, like the bag, the paddle, etc. If you like this review, feel free to like and subscribe this video. I also have the product link as well as the review link right in the description. So Always appreciate an extra read on the website.